Yo, gamers, what is up? Squirtly here. Thank you so much for joining me as always. One of the messages you guys will hear repeated in a lot of my videos is that context matters, meaning it's not always good, it's not always bad. Just because something crashes in price doesn't mean it's bad. Just because something goes up in price and becomes more rare or less rare doesn't mean it's bad either. It all depends on, did you have it before? Are you a buyer or are you a seller? But one thing that just been happening slowly over time is that the general price of a lot of things have gone down, whether it's taunts, unusual weapons, just cheaper items in general went from maybe middle tier to lower tier to really, really cheap low tier. So that's great because it opens up the door for more people. So although keys might be expensive and they cost a lot more in ref, it takes more ref to add up to a key. Earbuds did go down, so it's cheaper to get earbuds. That's a nice all-class cosmetic. The Bills hats have gone down. A lot of all-class hats have gone down. And a lot of unusual taunts have gone down. Just a lot of things have gone down. So it sounds bad if you're an active trader and you have those items, but it's great because it just opens up the door for all these other people who maybe don't have 50 keys or $100 to get into trading and they want something nice. Now you can get some really decent unusuals for 6, 7, 8 keys, which is crazy to think about. I mean, I'm going to show you guys an example. I'm going to show you guys backpack.tf, Marketplace, manco.store, Steam Community Market, a little bit of everything of where to find the ultimate cheap of the cheap when it comes to unusuals, because I think we actually live in pretty cool times when you can get an unusual taunt from maybe your favorite class for 2 or 3 keys. Or maybe an unusual hat for your favorite class for 5 or 6 keys, which they're not going to be great, they're not going to be fancy, but that's actually pretty cheap. That's one thing that a lot of people could probably work up to, even if they're starting from the bottom and they don't have real money or cash or keys. You could work your way up to get an unusual. Now it's just a couple dollars to get started. So today's video is dedicated not to the team captains, not to the exquisite racks, not to the god tier all class hats, to the cheapest of cheap when it comes to unusuals. So I'm going to give you guys a live walkthrough. I'm going to start off with backpack.tf. I'm going to go into marketplace.tf, a lot of TFs here, then manco.store and the Steam Community Market to give you guys some options whether you want to trade real items, in-game items, or you actually want to spend real cash or maybe Steam Community Market cash. But let's start with backpack.tf first. So I'm going to open it up here and then go under trading, classified listings. And then nothing's in here you can see for now because you need to change some things in the filter and the search. So open up the search here. It's going to give you this window. So it's kind of like similar to the community Steam Community Market. So I'm just going to click on unusual. That's the only thing. And it's automatically going to list it in low to high. So you can see on here, the cheapest unusual of everything listed, of all the people on here, is a most wanted Mega Strike taunt for 2.4 keys. Super cheap. Depending on where you buy keys, that's very cheap. So it's nice to know. Under 3 keys, well under 3 keys, actually, you can maybe even hassle this guy, some of these people to go. The scout ones, looks like there's some sniper ones, demo ones, decent variety here. And you can maybe hassle the price to go to, would you do 2 keys and 10 ref, or 2 keys flat, something like that, or 2 keys and some items. So 2 keys is much more reasonable for a lot of people than they think that unusuals are all, 10 keys, 20 keys, 100 keys, or whatever. So that's great. 2.4 keys can get you your very first unusual. It's going to be a taunt. Now, if you change the filters, you can actually make it so that it's a hat, whether it's a single class hat or all class hat. So just go into your filters and change it. So on here, I changed it to hats. So these are the cheapest hats in the entire game. You can see on the right, these are the most expensive buy orders for the hats. But over here on the left, the sell orders. So you can see the cheapest hat as of right now is a kilowatt stainless steel toe. It's hard to say that word for the pyro. So you have pyro, heavy hat, some robo hats, actually demo hat, some cheap demo hats on here. So under 6 keys, well under 6 keys, you can get yourself a single class hat. An unusual. It's not super fancy. It's not really nice, but it's still an unusual. You can also change the filter to show you single class hats. So for example, for this one, I changed it to soldier. So on the right, here's all the most expensive ones. Here's some rack buy orders for people who are looking to buy with keys. But on the left-hand side, these are the cheapest ones. So you can obviously see the sky high fly guy. Oh my gosh, there's another one. It's hard to say. These are the cheapest ones, probably because there's just a bunch that would have been unboxed. You can scroll down here, see other robo hats, things like that. So if you're a soldier main, you like soldier hats, let me give you guys another example. If I want to change this filter, maybe to sniper. So I could change it from general, instead of a cosmetic for soldier, I can change it to, let's do sniper hat. So the cheapest sniper hat currently listed on here is under 6 keys as well. And it's going to be these, solo toppies. A Robin, not bad. I mean, these are first gen effects. Some of these, bubbling, steaming, some of these other effects, decent hat, under 6 keys. That's actually pretty cool. A decent looking sniper hat, bubbling Lark and Robin for 6 keys is nice. You can also change the filter to do weapon. So you can see on here, I did a filter for weapon. So the cheapest unusual weapon currently listed on here is for 22 keys, and it's going to be a cool field-tested flamethrower for the pyro. Let's see what we got. A hot pistol for the sniper, a multi-class cool pistol, some isotope. I mean, these are not bad. I mean, the skins might not be great, the wares, but who cares? I mean, 27 keys, you get an isotope, decent looking spy knife. That's pretty cool. Rocket launcher, 27 keys. Now, like I said, the wear is not going to be great, but on some skins actually, or war paints, the wear doesn't matter that much actually. Of course, factory new, it's going to be the most expensive, the most highly sought after. Minimal wear doesn't actually look too bad on some of them, but there's a handful of skins that even on field tested or battle scarred, the wear and tear just kind of goes with the skin and the paint, so it actually doesn't look that bad. So if you don't mind and you don't care, and maybe you're not really going to resell it for a lot of profit, you can find some pretty good deals on here. So let's say you want to spend actual money. Marketplace.tf is a website that I've used a lot. I trust it. It's run by Geel, so it's very trustworthy. You don't have to worry about getting scammed or charged back and all that stuff. Sometimes the prices aren't the best, but it's definitely a good place to go. So especially if you're new and you don't want to risk trading with other people with real money. So all I did is put on another search, unusual, sort by price, and you can scroll down here. So the cheapest ones they have are more unusual taunts. So you have Demo Man taunts, Pyro, Scout, Sniper. So these are well under $6, right? I mean, that's kind of crazy. I mean, that's more than like some coffees at Starbucks or like a cheap Happy Meal and some, a drink or whatever. So that's cool to think that you can get an unusual for under $6, just over $5 will get you. And these are actually decent effects. Look at this Holy Grail. I mean, there's not all the lowest tier effects as well. A lot of Holy Grails. Wow, we also have Screaming Tiger. So some decent stuff on here, honestly. Even some themed ones that are kind of cool. So to me, that's really nice to know that for whatever reason, if you want to get unusual, you only got to drop like $5 or $6. Not a big deal. So now I changed the filter to show me hats because I don't want to see the unusual taunts. Usually the unusual taunts are going to be the cheapest and those kind of flood the page. So if you sort it by hat, now you can see all the different hat cosmetics on here. The cheapest one is a Mass Flies demo hat, the Skullcracker. So Mass Flies, maybe not the best, but it's unusual. $12, not very bad. Steaming one, just $1 more. Maybe that's more your style. You're going to see a lot of nuts and bolts, but same thing on here. Some first gen effects. Some decent looking hats. Miami, depending on what you're comparing it to, a lot of people say that Miami is actually not that bad. It's the Uncle Dane effect, unusual effect too, which is kind of cool. It's a nice bright effect. But not bad at all. There's some first and second gens that you're going to see on here that are pretty cheap, under $14. I just changed the search on here. Now, instead of hats, I just made it to weapons. Same thing, sorted by price, unusual weapons. So you can see, same story as before. You're not going to find a bunch of great ones as far as wear and skin, but they're still pretty cheap. I personally wouldn't pay this much for any of these. I'd rather get keys or, try to convert the keys into real cash and then buy through the Steam Community Market or trade for in-game items. Because to me, $40, you could do a lot more with $40 and buy, a minimal wear isotope SMG. But this is how you would find it. You can see factory new. Once in a while, you will see a golden nugget on here, something that's just too good to be true. Someone just priced it to perfection, or they underpriced themselves. But a lot of times, things on here are still kind of overpriced because they do. This website does take 10% of the seller's commission, so they got to overprice it a little bit. You can do the same thing on manco.store, just search by unusual, then also sort it by price. Now, just a little bit of a heads up, I've never used this website myself. Now, I'm not saying that's because it's not trustworthy. I just always used marketplace.tf, before this website really started to take off. But I know people that use it, and they like it because it's only a 5% fee. So there's a little bit more wiggle room for pricing. The sellers don't have to make the price as high. And also, the buyer doesn't have to pay as much because they're not taking 10%. They're only taking 5%. But you might find better deals on here. I know some people like to come here for tour duty tickets and keys and other things because it's usually cheaper than backpack.tf or marketplace.tf. Moving on to the Steam Community Market, this is another great place to find amazing deals, whether it's unusuals, weapons, Australians, spelled items, whatever. I will link you guys down below. I have 2 good videos, or maybe even 3 now, on how to find good deals on the Steam Community Market, and we're going to use some similar features. Right now, my only search is TF2 and unusual, and this is ranked, so the cheapest thing on here right now is a taunt for under $6. Pretty cool. You can see other taunts on here, so you're usually going to see unusual fires and other taunts. If I change the search a little bit, you can see over here, I changed it to actual taunts, so these are not unusual fires. These are just taunts, so you can actually see the effect and make sure you pick the one that you want. So the cheapest one is Silver Cyclone on here for most wanted, for the sniper. You could also change it if you wanted to actually write a little bit more. So I changed this over here to be unusual fire. So I have this in here, and that way it's only going to show me those, and these are even cheaper, under $6. And to do that, you can put this in here, but you can make this whatever you want. So say you want to see Sunbeams effects. You would change this to Sunbeams, and then boom, right here, you can sort the price. There's probably going to be some scammers who relisted their item. Let me take a look. Sure enough, right? Unusual effect, green confetti. They put in the description tag Sunbeam. So be careful for stuff like that. It's obviously on a Sunbeams hat for $24 or $43. Make sure you look. That has a real price on here. Let me see. Is this one legit? So this one is legit. It'll always be in yellow. Make sure it has a little star next to it as well. So there you can search by that effect. Also, if you change it by weapon, you can see under here, I put all the different tags in here that I wanted to. If I open this up, you can either do by weapon, but I usually found it's just easier to filter. Just turn all these on so that it knows it's looking for a weapon. And then once you do your search, same thing, sort of by price. So the cheapest unusual weapon on the market right now is just 25 bucks. So it's not fancy, it's not nice. You can see it's a ton of SMGs. Last but not least, let's look up some unusual hats on the Steam community market. So my only filters on here is unusual, cosmetic, and TF2. So you can see we got some heavy hats. Also a medic hat, a spy hat, some more heavy hats, some more spy hats, pyro hat. Let's go to page 2, see what else we have on here. You can see these are all 15, 16 bucks. Soldier hat. So the effects aren't going to be great. You can click through them and open up, but if you're looking for a cheap hat or a low tier hat for your favorite class, you can find one on here, 14, 15, 16 bucks. That's actually pretty cool. All right, well, there you guys go. Now you know how to find the cheapest of cheap when it comes to unusuals, whether you only have a couple dollars or a couple keys and you're looking to find unusual taunt or maybe a single class hat or maybe your first unusual weapon. I showed you guys how to do it in a couple of different options because it's a good feeling to me. Although prices have crashed for a lot of items, that's nice to know that with $5 or $6, you could actually find an unusual. It's not a big deal now. It's not going to be the nicest thing out there, but hey, it's an unusual. It's still a really cool feeling to have your first unusual. So have a great one, you guys. Don't forget down below to join the Squirrely Squad Steam group. That way you never miss another video or a giveaway. And don't forget to say hi and what's up if you see me in casual or Uncle Dane's server. And I'll be making more videos, so hope you have the notification bell on. All right, peace.
Hey, Squirrely, I really like your hat.
Thanks, mate. Lady! Walk away! The old top top! Okay, mate. Thanks, mate. Good one, mate.